Anything that you're obliged to, you could get enslaved to. I'm not saying obligation is a wrong attitude, but being obliged to, with respect to, for the sake of being obliged, and being obliged to for the sake of love and empathy and understanding the other human, is very, very important, but it's got its own limits. So what am I trying to talk today is to get yourself out of an attitude where you could be enslaved, starting with yourself, number one, and two, with people you work with, or with people you consider working under, and also at the same time to things and to material attachments. You and I got to understand very clearly that we are free-spirited people, that when we were launched on the face of the earth, we came with a full package of complete existence, complete fulfillment, and complete freedom. This should be your primary goal, because we walk from victory into this world and not to get victory around here. But your goals and your intentions and your passion should all come together. Three areas: your goals, intentions, and your passion must come together. If those three things at any point in time does not come together, then you are enslaved. As simple as that. So we know about taskmasters, we know about people who sit over your head, sit over people's head and take work done and things of that. Or people have stress, people have a lot of things to say, like, oh my God, I don't know why I got into this. I shouldn't have been here. Yeah, the stress levels, all those things. But I tell you something, what I have noticed in my life, only I can talk because of experience. I cannot talk anything beyond that. What I have seen. For me, my role model is my dad, my father, who could never be. He was never a monotonous person. He was a man of variety. He had, 1,000-2,000 books to read. He had a good bunch of friends. He had good business networks. He had a good job at hand, and he would be a writer. He would be making poems. He used to be member of the film chamber, and he had that variety in him, and I drew my entire strength watching him. And over a period of time, I saw him losing that entire charm, and I was wondering what he fought himself through. He fought himself through in the best way that he could. Right, so I understood that, my God, it is, in spite of all this variety of which he was living, he created another beautiful path of, existence and survival. A wonderful man, So I always used to look up to him and say, like, good, this man has got something. So I used to always anchor on his strength and say, like, okay, Dad, I know if everything goes, you're there, and I know your power is out there, and I know I can tap into it. That's a kind of a resource that we need to have when it comes to always being an achiever and a pathfinder. For me, it's that. For you, it could be someone else, or it could be, something else which is motivating you and inspiring you. I want to tell you something today that the moment you find that your entire system, when I'm talking about your system with respect to being a good personality, it's your passion, which is love. And, it's a kind of an unconditional love that is birthed into your system, which is your passion, number one. And number two, your intentions of how to use this unconditional love and the goal that you have towards this. If these three things are not coinciding, please get out of that crap. Anywhere at any point in time, please get out of that crap. I know there are obligations. I know that there could be areas where you say, like, oh, if I get out of this, then I'm going to take a huge risk. Then work around your risk. Positive risks are good. Positive risks are good. So I'm talking about an attitudinal change today with respect to your work and your job, or whatever it is that you're into, that you're committed for a long time, life to. Figure out these three areas. You figure out for your passion, you figure out for your goal, and figure out for your intention, and get them amalgamated right. Never ever look up and say, like, oh, it's because of this particular thing I'm like this. There's nothing called as fate. There's nothing called as fate. It is what you create and how you move forward. Because when we were launched on the face of the earth here, we were birthed from victory and not towards victory. So you got to reiterate that over and over again. Be careful of two things. Number one is how you entrust yourself to people. Number one, very important aspect. What is my limit of entrusting myself to people? What I expect from people. Number two, what I expect from people by entrusting. And number three, am I in that position always to deliver what I have promised to deliver? So these three things also must go hand in hand. But the golden rule is this: you are not obliged to be obligated to anybody on the face of the earth. You are, as I told you, I strongly say that I'm a child of God, and I believe that I have God as my primary authority, and I utilize those strength and those powers to help people in and around. So if it's not passionate, if you don't know your intentions right, and if it's not taking to your goal, get the hell out of it. God bless you and have a super day ahead.